This is the solution video for section 2.3, problem number 15. It says if y equals 3 plus 2 sine x, find a, the x coordinates of all points on the graph at which the tangent line is parallel to the line y equals root 2 x minus 5, and b, the equation of the tangent line to the graph of the point on the graph with the x coordinate pi over 6. All right, so part A. Y equals 3 plus 2 sine x. All right. Find the x coordinates of all points on the graph which the tangent line is parallel to y equals root 2x minus 5. All right. So first of all, you need to realize that the slope of that line is root 2, which means since this line is parallel to the tangent line, that we are looking for a slope of a tangent that is also root 2. All right, now what does that mean? Well, that means that the derivative of y equals 3 plus 2 sine x is going to be equal to root 2. So we want to find y prime. All right, so derivative of 3 is 0 plus 2 times sine x. All right, so what's the derivative of sine x? It is cosine, so 2 cosine x. So now that is the derivative, which means the slope of the tangent. So we want to find for what value of x 2 cosine x is equal to root 2. All right, so we're going to divide by 2, and we get that cosine x is equal to root 2 over 2, which means I want to determine the values of x for which cosine is root 2 over 2. All right, so now what does that mean? Well, we want to think about the unit circle. Remember, cosine is positive in quadrants 1 and 4, and specifically root 2 over 2. So at pi over 4 or 7 pi over 4. But notice there's no domain restriction here, and you remember that the trig functions are periodic, and so we would have to say that x could be pi over 4 plus 2 pi n, right? Because it could be back around, so pi over 4, and then it could be at 9 pi over 4, and so on. All right, 7 pi over 4, and same thing, plus 2 pi n, and we would want to say for any integer n. All right, so that's part A. All right, part B, though, says find the equation of the tangent line to the graph at the point on the graph with the x coordinate pi over 6. So what do I need in order to write the equation of a line? I need a point and a slope. All right, so how do I find the point? Well, remember, the point is going to be at x equals pi over 6, comma, whatever the y is when x is pi over 6. So on the side here, what is y when x equals pi over 6? So 3 plus 2 times the sine of pi over 6. All right, sine of pi over 6 is 2. So 3 plus 2 times, sorry, not 2. Sine of pi over 6 is 1/2. 2 times 1/2 is 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. I apologize. All right, slope. So remember, the slope of the tangent is going to be equal to the value of y prime evaluated at x equals pi over 6. All right, so now what is the value of y prime at x equals pi over 6? So we did y prime over here, 2 cosine x. So 2 times the cosine of pi over 6. So 2 times, what is the cosine of pi over 6? Root 3 over 2. So 2 times root 3 over 2 is root 3. So the point is pi over 6 comma 4, and the slope is root 3. So the equation of the tangent line is y minus 4 equals slope of root 3 times x minus pi over 6.